Chandrayaan-2 orbiter welcomes Vikram lander. Chandrayaan-2 says, "Welcome buddy" to lander. Two-way communication between orbiter and lander, landing to be live from 5:20 p.m. on Wednesday. Soft landing on the moon at 6:04 p.m. on August 23rd. My colleague Pramod Madhav is joining us live right now. Pramod, bring us the latest development on our moon mission.
Well, this is inching towards the landing mission currently, and nearly like almost 40 days of the trip from the Earth's orbit all the way to the moon's orbit. And Chandrayaan right now has not one angel but two looking over it. That is the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter, and now also there is another propulsion module which has also communication. This is going to only assist ISRO's command center in Bengaluru, because what's going to happen now is that there will be two ways to communicate with the lander module. Earlier decision was that the lander module will communicate to the propulsion module, through which the communication will be relayed back to the command center. But currently, now Chandrayaan has also made two-way communication with Chandrayaan-2, which was already destined earlier to communicate with the earlier lander. So right now, there are two guardian angels that are looking over the lander module, by which it's going to help ISRO, the command center in particular, people over there really well in actually handling the situation and making sure that the lander makes a soft landing successfully.
Right. Pramod, stay on with us. Akshita Nandagopal is also joining us right now. So, ISRO, they're making sure that everything goes smoothly this time round, Akshita.
Very true, Paulamy. This is procedural essentially, and all along ISRO said that we're going to use the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter to kind of help us communicate with Chandrayaan-3. A number of very important aspects here. Chandrayaan-2, and there's a reason all along we've said, it wasn't a complete failure, was because of this factor as well, that we've had an orbiter going around the moon for the last many years, since 2019, since Chandrayaan-2 took off to the skies. So that orbiter has been constantly transmitting information to us here, to the scientists based here in Bengaluru, and some of them, of course, in Sriharikota. Now, the orbiter in this particular case is going to be the medium. It's going to be sending back information and all communication from the ISRO scientists to Chandrayaan-3. It also played a very crucial role in identifying the exact landing spot, considering that it's been going around the moon for the last many years. So it's helped the scientists to a great deal. Also important to highlight that the Chandrayaan-3 right now, this spacecraft doesn't have an orbiter. So every aspect of any help that an orbiter can do, that will be done now by the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter that continues to go around the moon. So very crucial step this, and also important highlight that's coming from the ISRO, because we've all been wondering, Paulamy, whether everything's as per schedule. They've confirmed that it is very much so. So 6:04 p.m. day after tomorrow, Wednesday, is when the soft landing on the moon's south pole is expected. The live telecast of that exact moment will start from 5:20. Mr. Sivan, the former ISRO chief, when he spoke to us, did confirm that it could take about 40 to 45 minutes. So it looks like 5:20 is when they're anticipating it will officially begin, where they'll start descending down towards the moon's surface.
Okay, so that countdown, of course, begins at 5:20 on August 23rd, as Akshita was pointing out. Pramod, again, tell us what we'll be looking at and expecting 5:20 onwards on August 23rd.
Well, Paulamy, we are going to observe a magnificent kind of like work by human beings from Earth, because we are going to reach the far side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, because moon is actually in a synchronous orbit with Earth, which means on the other side that is not available for us to see. Only a handful of humans have seen it so far, and right now Chandrayaan has decided to go ahead and land over there. In fact, today morning also Chandrayaan gave us an update about the surface on that particular area. The lander has been also, there is a specific camera added to it called as like landing hazard detection camera, and its only purpose is to make sure that it lands in a secure place, which means it should avoid any obstacle that is 30 centimeters and above. All these has been very much calculated, and we're expecting 2 meters per second drop, which can also be increased to 3 meters per second, because this particular lander module has been designed in that manner. Not just that, the exact landing area has also been extended by several kilometers, and so this particular lander module has been only given one instruction to make a soft landing. This is very important not only for India but the entire Earth, because here you have ISRO that like very cost-effective technique, and they're going ahead and doing it, and that's the reason the entire world is looking up to this particular soft landing, Ptolemy.
Absolutely. Pramod, stay on with us. Akshita is also joining us. This soft landing, it might, the words might be soft landing, but it's probably one of the hardest things that scientists do, Akshita.
Ptolemy, I had a conversation with a NASA scientist a few days ago, and he said that, it's indescribable, essentially, those final minutes when that soft landing is to happen. And he says it's a lot easier than it looks, like you've said. When you say a soft landing, you think it's pretty easy, that you just have to slow down and bring it down. But imagine that, there are so many factors going against you, many of which you can't even judge. Those few minutes, which they say is about 5 to 7 minutes when the final descent happens, that's the nail-biting moment when we'll know whether it's a success or not. And largely, the ISRO scientists will be tracking it to Bengaluru, will be making out based on the movement of the lander. In 2019, I'm sure you remember it just as well as I do, of what happened where, we realized that something wasn't right because we could see the lander wasn't moving down. The point was static. In this particular case, that's what they'd be hoping for. That all of the planning that they've done, and they've made several changes, mind you, to the lander as well, to ensure that there's no scope for anything going wrong here, which means that there are also multiple sensors that have been put in place. There will be a great deal of control by the ISRO scientists who are based here in Karnataka, but also besides that, there will be a lot of work that the lander automatically will do with the sensors.
Right. Okay. Akshita and Pramod, thank you so much for joining us. So we will, of course, be counting down to 5:20 p.m. on August 23rd.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.